Start with Ravi and then go to Zach.
Yeah, Coach, I just wanted to start with, you guys get Kaden Carlisle back. Sort of how has he looked the last couple of days in practice? What have you liked? And sort of, is he 100% ready to go right now, or is he still sort of, okay, we're working him back in?
Well, he practiced yesterday for the first time, full practice, and said he felt good coming into today's game, so we played him.
Zach and then Daniel.
Mike, I know at times you guys go smaller, but you still can run those two big lineups. Where do you feel like you are in terms of marrying that to a faster pace? It seemed like you playing fast, but with multiple bigs really worked for you guys tonight.
Well, I mean, it's going to be bigs throughout the Big Ten games that we play, and when we got a chance to go small, we try to do that too. I mean, we've done that every game that we've had this season so far. But again, you gauge it based on how the game is going, and who's in the game, and if our small team is rolling, we just roll with them until we have to go sub because we feel like they might be a little tired and move to the big lineup. So, I mean, it's been good for us both ways, but I haven't weighed it out. I mean, I base it on matchups and when we do have the small guys in, how they're playing as a unit.
Daniel, then Mike.
Yeah, Mike, on the speed and urgency, and I want to say just the overall number of scores you had, is this kind of a glimpse of the offensive vision, I guess, you had for this team?
Well, again, I thought we played great the first half. The ball moved, and in the second half we started really well, I thought, but we got to get some things fixed too, because I thought we had some lapses where we just didn't play good offense. I thought there was some selfish play here and there, and we threw the ball away. We didn't make some free throws. I mean, we gotta build on this game, but those are areas that we can fix. And when you get a team down 15, 20 points, you got to remember how you got them down and continue to do the same things that got you the lead. And I don't think we did that coming down the stretch.
Mike, then Todd.
Yeah, with Carlisle and Galloway, you start Galloway tonight. As you said, kind of things are matchup dependent. You imagine rotating those guys based on matchups, or is it more just the minutes, how they balance out? Because they balanced out the minutes tonight, so it's not as important who gets to start.
Well, no, I went with Gallo because we had been starting him, and K9 just came back, and he didn't take it personal. He just came in and did his job, and somebody's got to come off the bench. I can't start everybody, and I don't know if that lineup will stay the same, but the bottom line is he did his job coming in to help us win our first Big Ten game. So we're going to need everybody, regardless of who starts, to play at a high level when they play.
Todd, then Tom.
Mike, Minnesota made 11 of their first 15 shots. Then you held them to 3 out of their next 18, and then another stretch where they went, I think, 6 of 9. When you watch film, obviously you have stretches where you play good defense. What are you seeing that you can kind of accentuate to the team? And then what are you seeing on film when the defense lapses that needs to be improved upon?
Well, again, I mean, when we're playing good defense, it's nice to watch film. But when things go kind of sour, there are miscues in terms of switching, and somebody might get beat back door, and shot goes up, you don't put a body on a guy and he gets an offensive rebound or keeps the ball alive and then they score. Things like that we have to clean up. I mean, because again, when you're playing in the Big Ten, going through this grind, man, those type of plays can beat you.
Tom, then Lou.
Mike, Bryson Tucker had 8 points in that 16-1 run you had late in the first half to get rolling there. He made his first 4 shots. How important is it for a freshman like that just to get off to a good start and just kind of keep that sort of positive mind frame through a game?
Well, it's very important. When we recruited him, we thought he would be a big piece to the puzzle, and he is. And we just got to keep steering him in the right direction and pushing him to play at a high level, play harder, and smarter and do the things that we need him to do on the floor. And I thought tonight he came in and played a solid ball game, and hopefully that'll be a nice carryover into our next game against Nebraska.
Lou and then Jim.
Coach, I was going to ask about Tucker as well, and you answered part of it, but he seems to have more of an affinity for the mid-range than most modern-day players do. Do defenses sometimes forget about guys shooting jumpers from the inside the key who aren't trying three-pointers because they're so
Well,
fixated on it?
I don't know. I mean, again, the way the game is played, if you got guys that can make threes, I'm open for them taking them, and we do have guys that can make them, and we're probably not taking a lot more than most teams, but he is good in mid-range, and those count too. Layups and 15, 16-foot jump shots, they count as well if you make them. So the key is making them. So tonight he was pretty good in that area, so I'll take it.
Jim, and then we'll wrap with Mike.
Mike, on Bryson as well, but he's become one of the more consistent scorers for you, and tonight he comes off the bench with those 16 big points. Do you prefer having him come off of the bench, or because you've said that, everyone can't start, but is that something you prefer to have kind of in your back pocket?
Yeah, I mean, that's where he's not starting for us. He's coming off the bench, and I thought he came off the bench and played extremely well, and guys, somebody's got to come off the bench. So it's not who starts and who comes off the bench. It's the minutes that you get. It's what you do with the minutes that you get to help your team win. And I've always believed that. And if it's 2 minutes, then damn it, you better make it the best 2 minutes to help our ball club win. That's what it's all about. That's what team is about.
Last question.
Coach, Minnesota was blitzing ball screens. I know that was something that gave you guys a little bit of trouble in the Bahamas. Do you like the progress that your team is making in those situations?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a little bit of everything in pick and roll this early season, and in some games we're pretty good at. I thought tonight it didn't affect us a whole lot. I got to go back and look at the film, but I think there were times that we could have gotten rid of the ball earlier or quicker than we did, and then that pass might lead to something good. I didn't think once we got it out of there, we were slow in terms of moving the ball once it came out of 2 on the ball, and that's something we just got to get better at and continue to learn.
Thanks, Coach.